This just in, Nancy Pelosi takes credit for leading the coup to oust Joe Biden from the presidency. We're unpacking this story and so much more here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Goldco, providing Americans a pathway to protect their retirement and savings with real gold and silver at vnngold.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Well, it's no coincidence that Nancy Pelosi is finally coming out to say that maybe she was perhaps the person behind the ousting of Joe Biden. It wasn't the Obamas, but they probably had a part in it. This just in from thegatewaypundit.com. Nancy Pelosi takes credit for leading the coup to oust Joe Biden, says she never has been impressed with Biden's political operation. Jim Hoff reports. Like a true mafia boss, Nancy Pelosi took credit in a recent interview on ousting Joe Biden in the Democrat Party coup. Democrats call this democracy. Less than a couple months ago, Democrats ousted Joe Biden in a silent weekend coup. Joe went AWOL, supposedly for COVID, and then when he came back a week later, he was no longer the Democrat candidate for president. The party elites took him out. It was such a smooth maneuver that there were rumors that old Joe had kicked the bucket. Pelosi was quickly signaled out as the mob boss behind the coup. Now she's finally talking. Pelosi told The New Yorker that she was behind it. She did not like the way things were going. Nancy Pelosi said this, "I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of the better." Now we're going to look at that video, but I want to remind you it was just a few weeks ago on August 5th that Nancy Pelosi was talking to Stahl, explaining that maybe she wasn't the one behind it. Remember when she had this to say?
Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody. What I'm saying is I had confidence that the president would make the proper choice for our country, whatever that would be. And I said that, whatever that is, we'll go with.
Had you seen a decline in Joe Biden, and did you think he needed to step aside?
No. My whole point was, whatever he decides, but we have to have a more aggressive campaign.
So she was saying back then, well, we have to decide if we're going to have a more aggressive campaign, proving that she's genuinely conducting or at least coordinating behind the scenes for the entire Democrat Party. If I was going to talk about someone that should probably step aside after too many years serving the country, we're probably talking about Pelosi, who somehow out of a several $100,000 a year salary became a extremely wealthy individual. Some say upwards of a couple $100 million. Others say it's around $70 million. Still, it doesn't make sense with all the insider trading. Now, she recently just went on a podcast, the New Yorker Radio Hour, and she finally took acceptance for this. Here's what she had to say in her last interview, switching the script entirely. Listen.
I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of a better campaign, because they were not facing the fact of what was happening. Just a little background. I've never been that impressed with his political operation.
Biden's operation.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I just haven't been. They won the White House. Bravo. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But so my concern was, this ain't happening. And we have to make a decision for this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen. Let me just say,
Wow.
I won't say necessarily I knew.
So she was saying, look, I'm not going to make the decision, but we may be threatening the 25th Amendment. We may go to the president and then calmly suggest, hey, if you don't happen to accept our resolution, then we'll either oust you or we'll do something humiliating. Remember, we just tried to kill Donald Trump. And I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm saying that here. And so watch out, buddy, because you could go next. And that kind of intimidation, she willingly admits it. And yet we're supposed to accept we live in a democracy. I know we're a republic, but come on. Let's listen to this for a second. Here's what she had to say in her closing.
What I was doing at that time. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that show.
And what was that?
That Donald Trump would never set foot in the White House again.
And that's where it's at. Now, I want to remind you, they're willing to even destroy the economy if they have to in order to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't get in. Our money's inflated. Remember, they put COVID in place and all the measures and tricked him into pushing the vaccines. Also, what? We could print trillions of dollars and our dollar could lose its value. So many Americans like me are absolutely not thrilled with what's happened to the devaluation of our currency. So we're putting our money into real gold and silver. But hey, maybe you don't know how to invest or you want to make sure you're in a trusted gold and silver company. Well, I have the #1 company that Americans are trusting today. And you know I'm not going to tell you about any company that I don't trust personally. Let me tell you about Goldco today. Now, Goldco is offering a free gold and silver kit, plus on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver when you would transfer your retirement, your savings, your investments, whatever it is you want to do into real gold and silver. You've seen how volatile the market can be in the last couple of weeks. Just visit vnngold.com, that's vnngold.com, to find out how you can diversify and protect your savings from an inept government with physical gold and silver and get a return on your money. This offer will only last until all the bonus silver is gone, so act now. Go to vnngold.com, vnngold.com. That's vnngold.com. Now, as I mentioned, though, it's kind of funny because Kamala Harris is currently running now. So you would think, well, maybe perhaps Nancy Pelosi is directing her. And that's true. Nancy Pelosi said that, maybe Kamala should focus on her campaign and not give interviews, obviously because she knows that Kamala Harris cannot go off script. Listen.
Do you think that the vice president needs to be more out there talking to reporters, talking about issues in a give and take, not just in speeches?
I think she should say what I just said in that sentence. She should be herself. She should be ready. She should know her power in all of this. And I don't give anybody advice except to be themselves and be ready and know the power of their individuality and their authenticity.
Yeah, so she doesn't think that anybody really needs to hear Kamala speak because that could obviously sway voters against her. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you want more of these videos direct to your inbox, sign up for our newsletter at vigilantnews.com. Or you can directly subscribe to our Rumble and X accounts at Vigilant News. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the week. And may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.